Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to my Saturday Horror Reviews. Um, Back to the Vincent Price collection, and this is the last film in the collection. I've watched all of them in both editions. This one is called The Witchfinder General, or AKA The Conqueror Worm. I guess that was the original title of the film, which is very weird. But anyway, The Witchfinder General came out in 1968, stars, of course, Vincent Price. Uh, it takes place in 1645, and England is like basically having a civil war, the royalists versus the parliament, for control, so they're battling, and meanwhile, while they're battling, the countryside is basically run amok with people taking advantage of the chaos. And in this chaos, one Matthew Hopkins enters. Matthew Hopkins, Vincent Price's character, he tours the land offering his services as a persecutor of witches, and he has this accomplice with him, a guy named John Stern, who aids him, and basically for money and sexual favors as well. He goes around pointing out witches, basically, innocent people, and basically persecuting them, just picking them out just to get the money from the local villagers and stuff. And he's a sadistic son of a bee. He is. He's just a cruel person. And him and his assistant, John Stern, who's really sadistic. He loves torturing people and beating people up and stuff. And they go around, going from place to place, doing their evil deeds. And into the story, there's a character named Richard Marshall, okay, who's a soldier, and he's engaged to Sarah, and it's the niece of a local priest. And in the beginning of the movie, you see him returning from war, and he basically, actually not, he's on leave, I think. He's on leave, and he goes home, and he basically asks, the uncle of Sarah, who he's engaged to, he wants to marry her, and of course, they're in love. And meanwhile, the priest is worried. He's worried. He even tells his niece that he's worried about some evil coming to the village, but he doesn't really spell it out specifically. Okay, and meanwhile, after spending a night with his fiancee, Richard Marshall goes back to war. And meanwhile, who comes into the village but Matthew Hopkins and his sadistic assistant, where they, basically grab the priest. They've been called there because some of the local villagers have accused the priest of being a witch, of course, and they drag him out and drag a few other people from the village and basically proceed to torture them. And of course, the niece is horrified by this, and she basically pleads with Matthew Hopkins to please, have mercy on him. And of course, since Matthew Hopkins is an evil son of a, he decides to get sexual favors in return for not torturing the priest any further. And but the long and short of it is, Matthew Hopkins is a sadistic son of a bitch who's only doing it for money. Him and his lowly assistant, they have no morals, no scruples, whatever, and they just basically get off torturing people and burning people alive. And there's great examples of it in this movie that are just, the movie's pretty brutal. Just with burnings and stabbings and hangings and just really brutal stuff. And basically, how our hero comes into the story after the priest is basically killed. The soldier comes home to visit his fiancee, and that's when he discovers what Matthew Hopkins have done, him and his assistant, and he vows revenge, even though he's part of the military, and he kind of shirks his responsibility, kind of goes AWOL in the hunt, because he vows, he swears before God that he's going to hunt down Matthew Hopkins and he's going to kill him. Now, Vincent Price is really evil, but he's not mustache twirling evil. He's a subtle kind of evil. His assistant, John Stern, the guy who plays John Stern, he's really more of the brutal, upfront kind of evil. He's in your face. He loves to torture and loves to maim, and then they go drink and spoil and enjoy the spoils of their money that they get from proving people are witches. And this is a pretty intense movie. Okay, and Vincent Price is really good on this as usual. And like I say, he's not overly overtly evil, but he's pretty despicable in this movie, and you want to see him get his comeuppance. Okay, so overall, like I said, the movie's about, I think, 86 minutes. Okay, and the real thing is that this guy, Matthew Hopkins, as you see in the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie, Vincent Price does a little introduction, and he actually tells you that this guy actually, Matthew Hopkins, actually lived. He was a real person. Okay, and what a son of a bitch. Anyway, I'm going to give The Witchfinder General a 7 out of 10. I thought it was really enjoyable, and you can't wait to see, you know, you got your hero and you got your, you know, your heroine, and you got these evil, you want to see them get their comeuppance, okay? And it's a really good movie. Definitely recommend it. The first time I saw it. 7 out of 10 for me. Anyway, let me know what you think of The Witchfinder General, or AKA The Conqueror Worm. I don't know why they changed the name of it, because Conqueror Worm doesn't even, I don't know, maybe that was the title of the book or whatever. But anyway, The Witchfinder General, definitely recommend it. 7 out of 10. Anyway, let me know what you think. Have you seen it, The Witchfinder General? What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trepacer saying so long and take care.